Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 2019 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. Now this has 1,356 horsepower, 1,021 pounds-feet of torque from a 7.5 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. The vehicle itself now weighs 3,651 pounds, still has all-wheel drive and off-road suspension, but it now has off-road racing tyres to go with it. And it can now do 0 to 60 in 3.153 seconds, 0 to 100 in 6.309 seconds, and go to a top speed of 229 miles an hour. So in the previous episode we did have the Liberty drift version of this called the Performance Truck, and that's currently at the top of the leaderboard by nearly a second over the McLaren 765 LT. Now granted, I'm not expecting this to be as quick as that, even though this only has slightly less power than that performance truck and more in the way of torque, but it has a lot more in the way of weight, and I don't think the handling and braking is as good as that performance truck. But still, we've had a decent run of the Toyotas being pretty good on this series so far, so I'm hoping this will be at least as good as the likes of the Hilux or the 4Runner, which are both in the top 10 at the moment. So yeah, let's see what it can do. Now granted, the handling is not the best at all. 3.4 is quite on the low side as far as the series goes, and yeah, it's hardly a lightweight truck either. But we are the most powerful TRD Pro standard, Toyota in that regard. We're far more powerful than the 4Runner, which I think had 1,270 horsepower, and I think the Tundra had just over 1,000. So we're the most powerful of the three. But yeah, it's not necessarily mean we're going to be the quickest, especially with, like I said, the weight that we've got going on. It's a little bit longer, I think, than the 4Runner with that rather large pickup bed. Means it might not be as agile. For now, it's doing okay. It's really when we get to the more twisty sections and rely on handling. I'm going to see whether or not this is going to be quick or not. For now, in terms of pure acceleration and the kind of speed it's getting up to, this is pretty good at the moment. Not much in the way of understeer, given all of the extra power that's going through those front wheels, which is good. As we saw while racing this, it was pretty formidable in terms of dealing with the jumps and the landings, and it's pretty much done the same there. So it's lost the off-road capability in that regard. A little bit of oversteer then from the rear. It's a little bit, made it a little bit slow around that part. That's the trouble with the pickup. It's guaranteed a lot of rear end grip, especially if you're dealing with camber and bump and jump and whatever else. It's easy for it to let go. If you can get a handle on it, it's no worse to drive than maybe an SUV. Oh, did we get that? Yes, we did, just about. It's very sketchy. It's fine. Managing nearly 150 there, which is good. It'll be really interesting to see what this is going to do in terms of the time in comparison to the performance version that we had on the last episode, because, like I said, it doesn't quite have as much power, although it does have more torque, and it does have about 500 pounds in extra weight. I'm pretty sure the performance truck was a better handling car, even though it was meant for drifting. I think we attained that with the upgrades that we've given it. Either way, this is going to be a pretty quick time, I hope. yeah, that's a pretty quick time by the looks of things. So we're going to be comfortably in the top 10, and yes, we are at 3 minutes 21.160. That means we are the fastest of these TRD Pro versions outside of the Liberty one in the previous episode, as we have managed to beat the Forerunner TRD Pro by more than 3 seconds, which is a huge gap. Really wasn't expecting it to be as quick as that. And yeah, it also means that we've beaten the Hilux AT38 by more than 2.5 seconds, as well as the Nissan Safari's 370Z, and just beaten the Ford Mustang Mach-E 1400 by 0.025 of a second. So 0.00125 of a second, sorry. Yeah, pretty much sure I'm getting that right. Yeah, but still, we are a little bit off the likes of the McLaren 620R, the 765 LT, and obviously the Liberty Toyota Tacoma by more than 4 seconds. So yeah, that just shows how quick that Liberty version of this was. But considering this is a more standard truck, it's got 500 pounds extra in weight over that performance truck, a little less in the way of power. It's 23 horsepower down. Yes, it has 61 extra torques, but that's not going to make enough of a difference in terms of straight line speed, really, when you've got that much amount of extra weight. But still, really, really impressive. And yeah, to be the fastest of the bunch is also really rather good. And yeah, it wipes the floor with the Tundra, which might well be the better car in stock form when it comes to racing, but when it comes to this series, yeah, it's beating it resoundingly by more than 10 seconds. So yeah, really, really impressed by this. Did way better than I was expecting it to be, expecting it to do. So yeah, on the whole, a really, really good showing. And yeah, that means we now have 3 Toyotas in the top 10, 4 if you count the Liberty version. So yeah, Toyota are absolutely romping this series so far. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.